Hey guys, this is Darren with East Woodland Survival. Thanks for tuning in today. Today we're going to be making an improvised bucksaw. All you really need is just a saw blade, and all the pieces and parts can be cut out completely with just using your knife. It does take a piece of paracord to get it all to where it'll tighten up really tight, and I'm going to walk you through that process, so stay with me guys. Okay, for this project, we're going to need 3 pieces of wood, roughly about the same length. And I just got a piece here that we're going to kind of cut this in 2. And I'm going to use this whole length for this project. And I'm going to use my block here. It's kind of an anvil. My little bushcrafting block with all my little divots cut out in it here. And we're going to need approximately 3 pieces about this same size. Okay, got 3 pieces. That worked out pretty good, so I didn't have to make another cut to shorten one of them up. So I'm going to have 2 of them as the upright, or the long side, and this is going to be my cross piece. So what we got to do is we got to come in here and we got to figure out the length of our blade. And I'll lay this out on the ground so you can see it. Our blade's going to come in across the bottom here. And it's going to attach in and this is going to be our cross piece. It kind of goes in between the 2. So I need to cut a little angle here. I need to cut this down a little bit into kind of a point on both sides. And I'm going to put a notch in each side of the log. And I'm going to be really careful when I match this up. Okay, now we're going to measure out and put our cross pieces in to where they'll match up. I need to work on this end. Here we go. Need to kind of make a little V notch here for this to fit in snugly. It's looking pretty good. Okay, I'm going to measure this out again. And then I'm going to cut just a V notch right here for this to attach into. Let's see how this marries up. I need to work on this just a hair. Okay, that ought to marry up pretty good. Let's try this other end here, make sure we're squared off. That should marry up pretty good. Okay, we need to remeasure again, and you can just take your other stick that you're using, and we can kind of come in, kind of even these up across the bottom. I'm just going to mark this kind of the center line. And then we're going to just chop a little V-notch in this too. And that should do the trick. I want to adjust my angle a little bit on this one, but it'll work. Oh yeah. Okay. Our next step is we're going to have to make a notch in our bottom here. And I'm going to cut this off a little bit better, round it up, because we want a notch for our blade to kind of set into. We're going to use these little rings on the back as a stop. So we kind of want this to set in there. So let's clean that up a little bit. And we pretty much want to have this as flat as we possibly can across the bottom of that. And I might have to work on it a little bit here with my knife. Okay. Now I want to make sure that I'm coming in pretty much even across to where my blade will set even when I put my cross member in. So I want to kind of measure this out, just kind of eyeball it a little bit. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to baton this just a hair to get me started. I don't want to split the entire board. Let me adjust this up a little bit so maybe you can see it a little better. Okay. Just kind of got a split here that I'm going to lay my blade into. Let me do the same for the other side we're using for that upright. I need to clean this off a little bit. Okay. Now I want to start assembling this a little bit. I'm going to pull this one over. Just put it in there. There's the back of the ring. We're going to actually lash all this down in a bit. I'll do the same for the other side. I think I'm going to need to baton just a hair bit more on that side. Okay, I'll lay this here on the ground where you can see what I'm doing now. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take a little paracord on this end and make a little loop across here to where we can tighten this thing up. So let me grab some paracord really quick. I'm going to come down about the width of my hand, this way. I'm just going to tie a couple of loops around my saw. Oh, great. And then the dog comes to visit. Go on, dog. Come on. Come on. Come on. Now we're going to want a stick. It's going to be long enough to catch on our bottom cross piece. That one's not quite long enough, but I've got some here somewhere. The dogs haven't all hauled it off. A piece of maple that we can use for that. We just want to put the stick in and kind of start twisting it up. This is going to create the tension we're going to need for the saw. And then we just lock down our tightening system here with just this stick across it. So let's put this thing up and see if it'll work. So when using one of these saws like that, if I wanted to split this wood right now, I could leave it like this, just saw about halfway. I don't know if it'll split with that big knot in the back, so let's go ahead and take that off too. Take that completely off. Okay. Now you should just be able to pop this and split this wood. Not the best split in the world, but it saved me a little bit of sawing time. So that's it. It's the Bucksaw. I'll lay it out here on the ground and get you some good photos of it. Well, guys, this is Darren with East Woodland Survival. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. And I hope to see you guys in the woods.